Hi everyone, this is Olivia, and this is my therapeutic craft presentation. My name is Olivia Warrington, and I decided to knit a soft toy character. So presenting to you, this is Oscar. He was supposed to be a little sloth. He came out a little interesting, but I just wanted to knit a little calming character. So here he is. And I chose this project because activities that involve working with my hands have always been a source of therapy for me, and knitting was one that I have not tried before. I wanted to try something new and see how that went. And my grandmother was also a knitter, so I just thought it would be something really cool to try out. And as I thought, it was very therapeutic and calming for me. Objects used and their properties. Some tools that I used were knitting needles. Some supplies that I used, so items that were depleted during the activity included the yarn and the eye beads that I used. And some equipment that I used included my computer, my laptop, with the pattern on it for the item or crochet object, or knit object, I should say, sorry. Properties of said items included the knitting needles were sturdy, a slick metal material, and they were silver. The yarn was soft, very easy to handle, and purple in color. And the computer is of medium weight with small buttons, and it is silver in color. The space demands, my workspace is actually right behind here. So it was just a little comfy chair corner that I had with a blanket and my laptop, just so I could have a little calming area. And the calm lighting and comfy seating in my workspace facilitated lots of creativity and a calm environment in which to complete my activity. Having all of my items, including my laptop, in arm's length also helped with that. Social and cultural demands. My activity was mostly being done alone. There was one moment where I did ask my mom for help with a step because I was having trouble. But working alone helps lower your sensory stimulation and allows for calm, unfiltered self-expression without fear of any judgment or stress of others distracting. My grandmother used to knit, and so I connected with that a lot. So that was something I wanted to try. I hadn't really tried it before, so it was also really fun to try that and know that she had done that before me. And also, my mom has always instilled upon us to do activities that help calm. So working with our hands was always something that helped us, including myself and my brother. We both have ADHD, so we're always nonstop, always going, and these activities where you just slow down, work with your hands was always something that helped us a lot. Sequence and timing. I laid out the yarn and the knitting needles and pulled up the template on my laptop. I completed the base knit, and then I knitted every piece together. And then at the end, I just stuffed Oscar with some stuffing. And then performance patterns. I have already worked with my hands all my life, completing crafts and small activities. This craft was just an extension of that. So doing different steps needed to knit the character was just like completing any other activity. You have to do all of the steps in order to come up with the outcome. Client factors, body structures that were used were my hands and my fingers. I used both of these to complete the character during the activity. Essential body functions used include sustained attention during the activity and working memory to complete the task of making the character. Performance skills. Performance skills used included motor skills when I was gripping the yarn and knitting needles, process skills, organizing the items needed and using each one for the activity, and then social interaction skills when I asked my mom for help during that one clarification I needed. Grading and adapting. One way I made the task easier while completing it was putting all of my items in arm's length within one area, and they were all in a designated area, so I knew exactly where they were when I needed them. One way that I could have made the activity a little harder I could have brought the lighting down a little bit in the room so it wasn't as bright. So that would have made my brain work a little harder during that activity. Therapeutic values and outcomes. One of the therapeutic outcomes was health and wellness. So during the activity of the knitting the character, I actively calmed my nervous system and put myself in a state of mental well-being. And once the activity was completed, I felt calm and very accomplished. My article was called The Bluebirds. So a brief summary of the article. It was a description of soldiers describing their experiences with occupational therapy during World War I in the American Base Hospital 9 in France, and just how much of an impact the occupational therapy and their crafts and everything had an effect on them even that many years later. And here are my references. And that is it.